Most of you will know that the Christian vision of heaven is definitely not that we'll just be floating around in some sort of disembodied state, playing harps in the clouds. Yeah. Did you know that the Bible does in fact speak of believers being given harps by God himself at the end of time? The passage is Revelation 15, and there we get a glimpse into the heavenly throne room, and God's people are singing a victory song. From verse 1 it says this: I saw in heaven another great and marvelous sign, 7 angels with the 7 last plagues, last because with them God's wrath is completed. And I saw what looked like a sea of glass glowing with fire, and standing beside the sea, those who had been victorious over the beast and its image and over the number of its name. They held harps given them by God and sang the song of God's servant Moses and of the Lamb. Great and marvelous are your deeds, Lord God Almighty. Just and true are your ways, King of the nations. Who will not fear you, Lord, and bring glory to your name? For you alone are holy. All nations will come and worship before you, for your righteous acts have been revealed. Here there are strong echoes of Exodus 15. Another place where God's people stand beside a sea of judgment, singing a victory song by Moses. Only this time, there's different instrumentation, since, interestingly, harps have replaced the tambourine. And it's also been transposed into a new and much more glorious key. To start with, the battle for victory here is much more fiery even than the might of Pharaoh and his vast army. This time, God's people must face off against the beast, world rulers and systems under the control of Satan himself, designed to bring all the people to worship him and ask, who is like the beast and who can wage war against it? From chapter 13, it would seem that refusal to worship the beast resulted in 2 things: economic disadvantage or death. And there it appears that in this world, the victor is the beast, conquering by death and oppression. But in our passage, we see that in God's economy, things are very different. The real victors are God's people, and the way they are victorious is ironically the same. Chapter 12, verse 11 says this: They triumph over him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony. They did not love their lives so much as to shrink from death. Endure, be patient, resist even to the point of their own death. This is how to be victorious, to beat the beast at his own game. And what's also surprising is exactly what these victorious people of God sing. I wonder what you'd choose to sing about, having just conquered the beast. Well, the melody here is a little different to what we might expect. Sure, in this song, just as in the song from Exodus 15, the incomparability of God is highlighted. He is the only one who is righteous, just, true, and holy, in stark contrast with the beast. But something else is brought out too. The emphasis here is that the Lord is not just the King of Christians, but of the nations, with a promise that all nations will come and worship before him. In the Exodus, the nations were mentioned as well too, but in terms of the fear and terror that would grip them as they hear of the Lord's acts. But here we have a much more positive take. As they see the Lord's act in the redemption of his victorious people, the nations will turn away from worship of the beast towards the one true God. I don't know about you, but as scary as the call to faithfulness feels in these chapters, the beauty of seeing the nations gathered to the Lord seems to make it more appealing to me. It's far from simply futile obedience, but rather it will abound in fruit. And while we wait to sing this song of victory in its fullness, accompanied by the harps of God, let's endure patiently, holding fast to our victorious and holy Redeemer, the King of the nations.